Hi, in this video we're going to have a little look at using foam rollers to do some stretching, so a bit of myofascial release. And I've got here three different types of foam roller. You've got your very sort of dense foam, just a standard sort of foam roller. We've got hollow type that have then got ridges and nodules on, and they help to just get into the muscles a little bit more, just to help to release. And then we've got this ancient piece of torture device from the Middle Ages, which is quite hard in its surfaces and really gets deep into the muscles just to help to release that tension in there. And the key thing to remember about the stretching that we're going to be doing today is this will help you to recover from sessions that much quicker. You can also use it to start just warming up the muscles, because it's going to promote blood supply and blood flow into the muscles as well. It's not a big heavy warm-up. It can be quite a painful warm-up, so you're going to want to do some light stretching, dynamic stretching, and a bit of warming up, walking up and down the stairs, some windmills, just some general sort of moving the arms around and getting the body warm before you really start to stretch. This is a great way to warm up, get yourself moving and a little bit freer, and it's cheaper than a massage as well. Perhaps not as effective as going for a massage regularly, but it will certainly help to work out those little bits of pain. So every time that you're working out, you're going to be breaking down your muscles. And this is going to help you to relieve that tension, and also obviously from the micro bleeds and the micro tears that you can get when you're working out. We want to remove that stickiness that you can get in the muscle, so that the muscle belly, as they interact with each other, they move smoothly over each other. The way that I like to do the stretches is I'll work from the bottom of my body up to my neck. So I'll start with my calves, go into my hamstrings and do all the way up through the back of my body, and then I'll work on the front of the body. So when you start to look at what you're going to be using, depending on how good you're feeling, if we start off with the big blue one here, what you're going to be doing is on your calves, you can roll them both together. So you support yourself up and you roll down towards the knee joint. You're not going to go over the knee joint, but you're going to get towards it, and then roll yourself back and forward. So it's also going to work your core as well. So you're just rolling yourself. Finally, you can roll your legs across, so you're going to find the stickiness in the muscle. When you find it, you're going to pause and just hold it for a few seconds, and then continue rolling through. Turn around on that side. Now if you want a little bit more pressure, you can take the other leg and rest it on top. Alternatively, if you've got someone to help you, you can get them to just put a little bit of downward pressure on there. Not too much, but just enough if you want to go towards pain, never into pain when you're stretching. And then you find that sticky bit and just hold it. So this foam roller will deform quite a lot. If I was to use this one that's got a solid core in it, it's only going to deform to a certain amount. And then the stretching, as I get over the nodules, can be that little bit more intense. And I found quite an intense point there. And then I can just hold it and then continue rolling through. So when you've done one leg, continue on to the other leg. Go all the way through, find that. So you're looking to be able to do 20 to 30 seconds per stretch. I can then go on to do my hamstring. So just set it up just behind the knee, just above it, and then I can roll through. Now I can use this leg as support. Alternatively, I can make it more intense by having this other leg off the floor, and I can wrap it and hold it over the top of that. And I'm going up towards the insertion point of the hamstring into the glute. I can roll onto the side slightly, so I'm going to do my ITB, and I can roll down there. Again, this could be quite intense, so you can either have your foot across there to just take the strain a little bit. Alternatively, if you can take it, you can have that leg resting on the other one as you go all the way through. Find the sticky point and then come up through. So that's going to work the outside. You're going to stretch that ITB, so you want to come all the way down to the knee, all the way up to the hip, up towards glute medius. You can then do the inside of the thigh as well. So if I lie down on it, I'm going to place it on the inside of my thigh, so there, and then I can then roll down the inside of my thigh, get to the point where it becomes a little bit sticky, and then just hold that, and then come back up through, and then I can then roll onto the front of my thigh. So I'm now going to be doing all the way down through the front, from top of the knee up to the hip, up towards the hip flexor, coming down through, find the sticky point, hold it. So now you can take this up towards the top of the iliac crest, or the top of the pelvis. And as you do that, you might find that you start to become a little bit sore. Just go into that, towards the pain, but not actually into it really. Back through. Again, depending on how much weight you want to be able to put through this, I can take my other foot off the floor and put my weight all the way into it. It's going to be quite intense. Okay, if you've had sports massage and things like that, you're going to know that that's going to be quite an intense feeling. If you don't like the intensity, then you can use these slightly softer ones. This is quite a large one. You could, if you wanted, if you bought one of these, you can then cut it in half so that you've got two smaller rollers. If you want, you can use, obviously, the slightly more torturous version as well. Looking at going through your legs, so you're going to do the calves. You can also do the front down here, yeah, of your tibia. So this is going to be, it's get quite sore down through here. So giving it a nice little roll can also help as well. So you're going to do calves, front and the back of, from the quad, the hamstring, and then into the glute. So my glutes can get quite sore, so I like to go for a slightly firmer roller. So I'm just going to sit there, so literally just sitting on it, just holding it, get to the point where it feels a little bit sore, and then slowly go through it. And you'll feel the muscles start to give. It will start off quite tight, and eventually that will just feel a release, and it will just, almost as though it's just giving way. So find the point where it starts to get a little bit sore, and then hold it, and eventually as you then continue to roll, you almost just feel the muscle just melt. So they come all the way through. So once you've done one side, do the other side of the body, and then you're going to come on to the lower back, all the way through up to the top of the shoulders. And the way that you do that is to hold that there on the lower back. This can feel quite intense. Okay, so if it does feel really, really sore, then try and get a softer roller or get someone to help you through it. So here I'm just rolling down on my lower back. I'm supporting myself with my elbows, yeah, so I can put as much pressure into it as I want or as I need. Alternatively, I can take my hands off and I can start to roll down. If you find a point where it starts to become quite sore, deep breath in, exhale, and let yourself go down through it. Deep breath in, and just relax over it. So as I come back towards my neck, I'm just supporting myself a little bit more, just going over it slowly, coming up towards my neck, and then I'm going to roll slowly back down. I found a bit of a sticky point there. I'm going to hold that, and then continue on through. You may get the odd sort of clicks and cracks as well as you're doing this. That's just the gas releasing from the joints. If you find a particular piece, breathe in, exhale, and as you exhale you might hear a click or a crack. Back down through, all the way down to the end. So that's going to help just to get the vertebra stretched out a little bit. Move that one out of the way. Now I want to be able to stretch out my lats, coming up all the way from my lower back up through to my shoulder. Now the way that you do that is sitting on the floor lean over it. You can put an elbow on the far side, and then you're slowly going to support yourself coming down through the lats, nice and steady, nice and slow, and it's going to get quite uncomfortable, okay, because you're going to get to your scapula, your shoulder blade, and you're going to feel it quite a lot. Obviously swimming, it's a big exercise on those shoulders, so I found a bit of an intense spot there, so I couldn't talk while I was doing that. So you're gonna, no matter what your sport, whether you're cycling, you're running, into swimming, just in the gym as well, you're gonna work those shoulders quite a lot. So actually getting into and around those shoulders, coming all the way up through. You can come down now into your tricep, so you can start to roll the tricep as well. Sorry, excuse me. So I'll then come back down through the body, nice and steady, nice and slow. Find the sticky point, hold it, put a little bit more weight into it. Eventually then I can come through all the way up. So now you can start to look at the front of the shoulder and into the bicep, so I can hold it there on the front and I can just roll into it. Coming across, so if I do it on this side, I can show here, you can see as I come down through the bicep, coming down across onto the front of the shoulder and just trying to iron out any little issues. Alternatively as well, I can start to lean on it from the side here and just coming into the back and across the shoulder, coming down, find a sticky point, hold it, and breathe through. You want to be spending around about 20 to 30 seconds on each area. So you're going from the joint up to the next joint. So you can go from the bicep up across to the shoulder, across the front of the chest, down through the back, the sides, down through the lats, everywhere. Wherever you're sore, you can use the foam roller to really help to just take out the stiffness and the soreness, to let the muscle belly, move over each other nicely, because what you're going to get is that occasionally as you start to work muscles, you're going to get the muscle going from a nice long muscle belly and it's going to start to shorten slightly, so then it's going to potentially cause a little bit of friction, a bit of stickiness as it tries to move across the other muscles. So by using the foam rollers, they just help, and the stretching just helps you to elongate those muscles back to their pre-exercise length. Foam rollering is going to help to get you back into the pool and get you back into the gym and training that much faster. So use it regularly. Use it as part of a warm-up routine. Use them in your cool down. Use them the day after a big heavy session. It's going to be a little bit sore and a bit tender at first, but as your body starts to get warmed up, it will be a lot easier. But always make sure that you do spend that time, 5 to 10 minutes, just warming yourself up and loosening off, just to make sure that you've got enough blood in the muscles to just help flush everything through. Enjoy your foam rollering, have fun with it, and it will literally transform what you're doing.